Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with, as you can see, we're outside today. It is beautiful. I'm here to do another Writer's Edition, part 3. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this. I am going to kind of read a little bit. It is a little windy, so hopefully this kind of works out for us today. I am going to start with, like I usually do, I do talk about preprints. It is amazing, awesome. I do love them. And as you can see, this is one of the prints that you do get in our packages when you do order my book. I do love it. And here is another one that you do get. I do love it. It is awesome. It's free. They do have an app and a website. I do have a promo code, which will be in the description below. And as most of you guys have wanted to see, the second book cover, which I have showed you guys before, which I will leave that video here or here, whichever one it's in, which this is book 2's cover. I love it. It is awesome. It was inspired to me by a family member who helped me make this, and I will do a separate video about that a little bit later. Let's get right into this awesome, beautiful day and enjoy another Writer's Edition. And I do have a note card here, which is going to help me answer a little bit and enjoy the weather. If you guys have any other more questions about these Writer's Edition, I do have 2 more parts of it. I will be doing these a lot. I do like to inspire other writers to help them write, help them brainstorm. I do have a few notes from my awesome book here, and hopefully you guys do like it. And the first question that I've gotten a lot, or what really inspired me to kind of help brainstorm, help get into creative writing, and I always write down whatever came to my mind. I always kind of helped, what would I like, what would my family like, what would friends and neighbors, or what would you guys like to see in a book. I kind of just make sure that I have all those details and all those brainstorm notes and kind of just write it all down in a notebook. And another thing I always get is my characters always ordinary? Or is the person ordinary? Or is their personality ordinary? And I like to say each character that I do come up with or I do write about is very unique, ordinary. The personality is who they are in the book and who they become and who they want to be in, like, the fantasy world. Book 2 is amazing. I've loved, enjoyed writing it. I may be, which I'm not saying just yet. It still is on pre-order for April 1st. But I do have a little bit of more of an announcement about book 2. There could be a bonus chapter. I've kind of been working on it a little bit, so you guys will definitely see once the book is released. Which you'll be able to see it on YouTube for now. With everything kind of going on, it's only going to be on YouTube, but the people who do pre-order it, once, you know, all this kind of lifts up and everything, you guys will be the first to get my book, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it on YouTube as well. And if you do not have a YouTube, do not worry. I do post it on our Facebook page, so you guys can definitely watch these as well. I know some people, you know, kind of don't do YouTube, which is very understandable, but we do welcome you to, you know, our YouTube channel and everything. So I'm going to get on and I'm going to get to reading in my awesome book, which I will leave in the description below. You can get this on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any Barnes & Noble store or their website. I do love it. It has been very helpful. So let's get right into it. I am going to start with, which I will show you if I can. If not, I will leave it in the description below. But I am going to read from these. I do love reading these. These are awesome. They're all throughout the book. I am going to be able to show you guys these and love to read from them as well. Hopefully you guys, I'm going to read one that is by Stephen King. I do love his books, his movies. He is one of my creative writers that I do love to read his little best-selling advice and, you know, the editing and what to put in a book. And this is what one of the best-selling advice is that he put in this awesome, amazing book. When your story is ready for rewrite, cut it to the bone, get rid of every ounce of excess fat. This is going to hurt. Revise a story down to the bare essentials is always a little like murdering children, but it must be done. I love, it is kind of a little bit of humor, best-selling. I do love Stephen King's books and movies, and if any of you guys have seen any of his books or movies, or anything like that, then he does have a little bit of a sense of humor. I do love it, and I'm also going to talk about, which I talked about in my big update, which that video will be either right here or right here, which is called the top layers, which is 5 layers, and layer 1 is the narration, which is the voice of the point of view and the narration. I'm going to read a little bit is from level 1. It includes the point of view of your story as well as the voice of your narrator. This is one of the most important decisions a writer must make in drafting a story, or often make it without even realizing it. And it tests different approaches and adjustment as you're writing. And layer 2 is the characters and supporting cast. This is when you start coming up with your characters, what they're going to be doing, what their cast role is, and you might seem as, why is it kind of sounding like a play? I always learned to kind of do a book like you would do a play. Who would be the lead, who would be the, like one of the main role cast. It's kind of always helped a little bit. If you would like another separate video on that, I would love to make a video on that for you guys. It is a passion for me to, kind of get this all out there for you guys and be able to help you. And in level 2, it also says your character gives your readers someone to root for or against, or they're given a story of the meeting. Without characters, a book is more than nothing than serious random events. And which that kind of reminds me of a movie and a book called Serious Unfortunate Events. That is something that is also a good show and a good book and a good movie. I do love the characters in that book and movie. It is awesome. And here is a little bit more information on the characters. His strength and yes, his flaws too. But still, no matter how well you think and know your photo sense, sometimes you will look over your work and see how your character on the page suddenly feels unmotivated. You always don't want to feel unmotivated. You always want to feel motivated towards your character or towards this chapter. You always want to get a little bit more out there. And then in level 3, which is the story, the next level is the story. By this point, you should have a firm gauge on who your characters are and what motivation them. This is signs that will all drive events of stories forward, which is where the plot comes to, like what chapter 1's going to be, or chapter 2, or chapter 3. You have 3 acts, 1 act and 2 acts respectively. Together, the act's decision you'll lead as a universal story that has been used ever since humans began telling the story in the first place. So that's just how you would put your first few chapters as. And always, always, always check back to your rough drafts or your brainstorms. You always want to make sure that you're still on topic and you're still doing what you need to do for your book. And for layer 4, this is where I would say you would want maybe chapter 4 and chapter 5, depending on how many chapters you have of the scenes. And the scenes in the layer is the scene, the dialogue, the description, and the theme. So this is where your book's basically going to come to life. Like, this is a theme, this is the dialogue for it. This is a description, this is how I want the book to kind of almost end, and this is the word building of how you want your book to be. And then on the last chapter, which is the grammar, punctuation, spelling, and the word choice, and the cosmetic. This is where you're basically where you've rewrote your book and you're kind of going to go through each chapter, kind of read it, make your corrections, make your punctuation, and make sure everything is good to go. You like how it is, and you like how everything is going, and to where you can be like, okay, well, maybe I can give it to someone who could read it now and be able to see, you know, if they have a little bit of opinion or if they can help and everything, just so you're not kind of stuck in a rut and have to go back and either rewrite a different chapter or anything like that. And I do want to put, if you do hear some noises, everything, I am on a bass, so hopefully I can get all that little bit of out, but if not, enjoy it. And another thing is, I want to show you, if I can find it, always, and here is a few other things that you guys can definitely kind of look on, and I'll have this in the description below. Several qualifications of high content stories always have a high level of entertainment value, a high degree of originality, born from as what-if questions, high visual, clear emotional force, include of some truly unique element, and mass audience appeal. And what I mean by those is, you know, make sure you don't have each sentence as the same, each chapter the same, kind of have a little bit of like a unique ordinary to it, so you're not sitting there doing over and over the chapter. And as we get into a little bit more, I am going to read again, and this is something that I have found. It's called ending the relationship, which is either ending one of the main characters in your book, or ending like a relationship that either your fans have loved in a book or you have loved and you kind of want to do like a little bit of a spin-off. I know I've done that in my 2 books, and I know most of you guys have loved that. I do recommend that. I will leave a little bit more about that in the description, and on our Instagram and our Facebook I do leave pictures and little notes and tips and tricks on what I use and how I find information. And hopefully, you know, all this information you guys did enjoy. I will leave all this either in the description or our Instagram or on our Facebook. We do have a Facebook and Instagram. If you're not, you know, liking it or loving it, please definitely go over and check it out. And I hope you guys do enjoy this little outdoor video. I am going to show you around a little bit just so you guys can see, you know, a little bit, you know, of the outdoorsy. Hopefully you guys do have a good weekend, and I will see you guys back here on Saturday with another video. Maybe it'll be an outdoors. If you guys do like these type of videos, I will love to make them. Always stay smiling and stay positive through all this, and have an awesome day. And here is a little bit of the outdoors that I'm at. I hope you guys do enjoy that view. I love it. I love just enjoying the little lake and everything and the little picnic tables. I will show you a little bit of what I was reading. And here, as you can see, is the levels of what I was reading, and I will definitely leave that in the description. The link to find those on our Instagram and on our Facebook page. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we will see you back here on our next video, hopefully on Saturday.